another Prospecting 101 video. Now you can find the full library for my Prospecting 101 videos and articles on the website at letstalkwax.com. And all you have to do is click on the little bar here that says Prospecting 101. You can also find it on your cellular devices. If you'd use it in the drop-down menu, it'll pop up there too. But this is a series geared towards new and intermediate collectors that I'm going to continue to add videos to. Bowman Chrome prospecting was a lot for me to take in my first 1 and 2 years actually of collecting. I made a lot of mistakes. I did things the wrong way. So I'm going to create this series to help some new guys not to make the same mistakes that I did when I first got into prospecting. It was really a whirlwind, but I've been doing it for about 10 or 15 years now. So I have a little bit of knowledge about the subject, and I'm going to try to create a full library over here on the website. And I'll continue to build the videos up, you know, from beginner to intermediate, maybe to some advanced prospecting concepts. But we're only 2 videos deep in the library right now. But all you have to do is click on the article here, and it will pop up in a PDF format if everything works out good. And like I said, we're going to talk about the Bowman Chrome first emblem. So the cards that you're chasing of the prospects that you decide to chase or follow or PC or whatever, it gets really confusing because if you look here, I've got 5 Anthony Volpe cards, and they're all Bowman prospect cards. They're all Bowman Chrome prospect cards, but there's only one that is the most valuable out of these 5. And it's the one with the first Bowman emblem right here you can see in the red circle. Now Anthony Volpe's first Bowman Chrome auto or Bowman Chrome prospect card comes out of 2020 Bowman. And these other cards, I think this one came out of 2020 Chrome. This one may have been out of 2021 Chrome. I think this one was out of draft, and this may have been out of 2022 Chrome. So there's just a lot of different Anthony Volpes floating around out there, and it's really important that you pick the right one if he's a guy that you decide to chase. Now, Tops, Fanatics, whatever you want to call them at this point, they do this with a lot of prospects, and it can get really confusing. And it's something they've done for years and years. They will take a prospect, he'll have his first Chrome in the first release he appears in, and then he'll be in several other releases, you know, until he reaches the major leagues or has a rookie card, and he'll no longer be a prospect. But Tops, Fanatics, whatever, they will do this with almost all really popular prospects at a given time period. So you have to be aware, make sure you're buying the first Bowman of these prospects because it's the most valuable and it's the one that most hobbyists and prospectors seek. Now, aside from the first Chrome prospect cards, they do paper cards, and they are first prospect paper cards. And Topps does the exact same thing that they do with the Chrome cards. They'll have non-first paper. And if you guys do a lot of breaking, you'll notice, like when I do a break, I don't ship non-first paper because it's just that invaluable. There's really no value to it. It doesn't really hold up any market value. First paper for really big prospects like Volpe and Walker right now has a little bit of value, but you're always going to want to go after the Chrome. It just holds more value than what the paper does. But like I said, they do this for Chrome and paper with all kinds of prospects across the board. So just always make sure that whether you're buying paper or Chrome, you're looking for that first Bowman label that I've highlighted here on the card. Now, autos get a little bit trickier. It's not as confusing, or it's a little more confusing than the Bowman Chrome first, because there's some certain things that occur with autos that don't occur with just a prospect card. So you can see I have all of Anthony Volpe's first prospect cards from 2020 Bowman. I have his auto here, his prospect auto, and his paper auto as well. And he's got a first Chrome auto in this release. He's got a first Chrome prospect card in the 2020 Bowman release, and a first paper prospect card in the 2020 Bowman release. So all of Volpe's cards, as far as his firsts go, are very linear. They're easy to track. They're all out of the same release. But sometimes instances happen where you have a prospect who has a first Chrome in one release and he does not have an auto in that release, but they wait for another release to put that auto into the release. So it's going to make more sense if you look at the pictures. So from 2021 Bowman draft, Jackson Merrill, which this guy's not actually Jackson Merrill, but From 2021 Bowman draft, Jackson Merrill had a first Chrome prospect card and no auto. And the same thing happened with Brady House. He had a first Chrome prospect card. You can see the first emblem there, but he had no auto. So in 2021 draft, you could only get the first Chrome prospect cards. And this happens quite frequently. This is why I'm trying to cover it in this video. If you look down here, you can see their autos popped up in 2022 Bowman Chrome. And this is why I did the Big 3 video first, was so you understand the different releases, because 2021 draft and 2022 Bowman Chrome are separate releases. So their first prospect cards are in 2021 draft and their first prospect autos are in 2022 Bowman Chrome, sorry. And you'll notice that there's no first logo here. And this is tricky because people often ask me, well, is that actually a true first auto since there's no first auto emblem? So the hobby pretty much takes this as their first Chrome auto because technically it is the first time they have an auto in a release, but Topps does not put the first emblem on these cards because it already appeared on their Chrome prospect cards from 2021 Bowman draft. So it's a bit difficult and it's a bit confusing, but it does happen probably 10% of the time with specific prospects. And it takes a little bit of wherewithal to kind of pick up on these things, but once you've been doing it for a while, you'll see patterns like this. And once you understand that patterns like this exist, it'll become a lot easier to catch them when they occur. Now, there's another situation with autos. This is why I said autos get a little bit tricky. So there's some prospects who have autographs only. They do not have a first Chrome prospect card, just a first Chrome autograph. And some notable guys from recent releases are Ezekiel Tovar out of 2021 Chrome. He has no first prospect cards. He's auto only. Francisco Alvarez out of 2020 Chrome. Oswald Peraza out of 2020 Chrome. And Michael Harris out of 2020 Chrome. They don't have any first prospect cards. They only have autos. And 2020 Bowman Chrome was actually really renowned for this, for having auto-only guys and really lacking a lot of first Chrome prospect cards, making it a pretty dicey release to rip when it did come out. But be aware of some things like that too. Not every prospect has a first Chrome prospect card. Some have autos. And what's been happening a bit recently, like with Alexander Ramirez with the New York Mets, he's a guy that's got a first Chrome prospect card only. He's got no autos. So it works both ways in that sense. And sometimes the hobby just never gets the guys that they want, for an auto or for a non-auto, but that's not up to us. But a trick that I came up with, if you're confused, if you're not sure where a guy's first Chrome prospect card or first Chrome auto is, what release they're out of, it's a really simple trick. It's time consuming and it takes a while, but when you're learning the ropes of prospecting, you're gonna have to invest a lot of time, or you're gonna waste a lot of time and probably lose more money than you put in. So if you go to eBay and let's just say you type in James Wood first Chrome PSA 10, and you wanna make sure you put PSA 10, you'll see why in a second, and you'll get some search results. And what will pop up are PSA 10 James Wood cards. And what you'll see on the PSA 10 label at the very top is the exact release, you can see right here, that these cards come out of. And this is why I like the PSA slab so much, because you can punch a guy in and you can say, oh look, James Wood, he's out of 2022 Bowman. So if James Wood was a guy you're chasing, you're a new prospector, you say, I read a lot of good things about James Wood, he's a really athletic, hyped up guy right now. Really big ceiling. I don't know where to find his first Chrome prospect cards or his first Chrome auto. So type in on eBay, just type in whatever prospect you want to chase and type in first Chrome PSA 10, and the results will kind of lead you to where you can find, or what release you can find their first Chrome in. So for you guys that do breaks, this is a helpful tool. Say you wanted to chase Ezekiel Tovar, but you didn't know what breaks to jump in to find him. So you could type in Ezekiel Tovar, first Chrome PSA 10, and all of his autos would pop up and they would say 2021 Bowman Chrome at the top of the PSA label. So you would know that you have to chase the Rockies in 2021 Bowman Chrome to hunt Ezekiel Tovar cards. So hopefully I didn't confuse you guys too much. There's a lot of different things going on. There's a lot of moving parts, and it gets really confusing when you first jump into prospecting. But if you have any questions about this, feel free to put them in the comments. This is a learning series, trying to help the guys that are struggling to kind of figure out and grasp the ropes of prospecting, because once you figure it out, it's one of the most fun things you can do in the hobby, whether you're making money or losing money, because all my picks don't pan out. It's about 90% luck and 10% skill. And anybody who tells you they can predict the market is pretty much a flat out liar. So if you're chasing certain guys, always look for this first label right here, this first Bowman, whether it be paper or chrome. Like I said before, you're looking for this first emblem right here. We're going to forget about all these other Volpe cards because they're relatively worthless unless you're buying really low numbered parallels. So look for the first chrome emblem. Now I do have a bit of a cheat sheet on my Patreon page where I break down, see if I can pull it up for you guys. If you go to my Patreon page, I have the breakdowns for all releases since 2019, and hopefully it loads here and you can see all the stuff that I have here on Patreon. Let me go down and try to find a breakdown for you guys. So here's my 2022 Bowman Draft autograph checklist breakdown. You can come over to Patreon and find this if you're interested. If you want to save yourself a lot of time, it's $5 a month, but there's a lot here. And I actually have listed every player that has a first chrome auto on this checklist. So I pretty much do all the work for you. I put all the guys that have first chromes in each release since 2019, and I break them down with stats and my write-ups. But it's an easy cheat sheet to find out all the guys that are in all the guys that have first chrome autos in each release. Because if you go to like a checklist, and I've done a lot of checklists, they don't tell you. Beckett used to do this. They used to put a first emblem, like a first marker by certain guys on the checklist, but they don't do it anymore. Cardboard Connection doesn't do it with their checklist. So the checklists just tell you the guys that are on the checklist. They don't necessarily tell you the guys who have first chromes in that release. So it's hard to kind of discern that if you don't know. But like I said, if you want to check that out on Patreon, I have it all broken down for you. Or if you want to go in and do it yourself, that's awesome too, because it's a great way to learn and a great way to get your feet wet. But like I said, you want to be chasing these first Bowman labels on the cards of the guys that you choose to collect. So hopefully this series helps you guys out, and this video helps you guys out. You can again find that on the website under Prospecting 101, where I help to build a nice little library for all of you guys who are just getting into prospecting to find some resources. So ask any questions you want in the comments. There's no question that is irrelevant or too dumb. Just let me know and I'll do my best to help you. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope it helps, and I'll see y'all later.